the first pick.
Hey everybody, Conor Dorney from Just Baseball here. Day 2 of the 2025 MLB Draft Combine. Joining me now, right-handed pitcher from Altee High School in Virginia, Noah Yoder. Noah, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So how has this combine experience been for you so far? I know you got into the high school game and pitched yesterday. How's the overall experience been?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. Like, just getting out there and I've never been on an MLB field before, and just being able to touch down in the dirt and the grass and throw off the mound where MLB players throw off is kind of a surreal experience for me. And I don't want to say I was starstruck, but it definitely feels different. And the experience has been very smooth, and it's been really cool to kind of get to know new people.
Yeah, and how has that been interacting with other people that maybe you've seen, on the circuit before here and there, but never actually gotten to spend time with, face to face in person? How has that been?
Yeah, I mean, especially some of these guys, especially with the scouting media and everything these days, you see a lot of them online, and you see them lighting it up, hitting bombs, throwing hard, and to get to meet some of these people and see how they are as a person, as opposed to just how hard they hit the ball or do anything. It's been really cool. Like, I made some new friends, get to know some new people, and I mean, hopefully I'll be seeing a lot more of them as we take the next step. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you've been on the clock with Jared and Tyler before, but for some of our viewers who might not be familiar with you, can you just give us a little background on yourself and how you got to this stage?
Yeah. So I'm Noah Yoder, and I've been playing baseball my entire life, but I never really realized I could take it to this level until I was probably like a year ago. Before this, I was like freshman year in high school. I realized I could play in college, and last year I started getting contacted from scouts, and it was a crazy experience. And I'm super grateful to be here. I love playing this game, and I'm just so excited to be able to do it, maybe even further on, and to do it for a living.
And how exciting was it for you to, there's obviously some players here who are only throwing the bullpen, only get in the cage. How cool was it for you to get in an actual game environment?
Yeah, I mean, my high school season just wrapped up, actually, so I'm so used to the competition.
Yeah.
So you go out there and it's a lot of fun. You're facing you're in the top 300, draft prospects in the country, and you're able to face a lot of those top high school guys, and it's just super fun to just be able to experience the competition of it, to be able to face the best players. It was a great experience. I mean, better than the bullpen. I would say.
Yeah, I can imagine for sure. Now, a lot of the things surrounding this event, there's everywhere you look, there's a data point, for you to look at, all of it being accessible in real time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage kind of like navigating, knowing when to be aware of that versus, being in, feeling how you want to feel on the mound and not letting that kind of stuff distract you?
Yeah, well, it is on the jumbotron when you're pitching.
It's impossible to miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to Chase Field, the jumbotron is like 1,000 feet tall. So yeah, it's hard to miss.
What I try to do is I try not to look at it. The pitch velocity, the pitch shape, it's all on the screen. And I'm like, I just got to worry about putting the ball in the right spot and trying to get the runner out or the batter out. So I think managing is, in my mind, it's out of sight, out of mind. So as long as I try not to notice it or not put myself in a situation where I can see it. Yeah. And then I can worry about pitching, and then maybe look at my metrics afterwards to see where I can improve.
Right. And is it kind of like a thing where you can, even from early on in an outing, you can tell once the ball comes out of your hand the first time, like, hey, I've got my stuff that I want to have today. Mm-hmm. No matter what the metrics might be telling you, you kind of know in your head, like, this is where I want to be. This is how I want to attack it.
Yeah. So, I mean, pitching wise, for me, it goes day by day. Like, some days you're not going to have your best stuff. Some days, your curveball's going to be sharper. Sometimes it's not as much. And I'm pretty good at understanding my feel for it. Generally, that comes with how able I am to throw these pitches for strikes, or just, seeing how much your curveball moves when you throw it as it gets to the plate, and if it gets hit or not. So kind of as I develop through the outing, I start to have a better understanding of what's working for me But sometimes, the fastball comes out of the hand, you're like, oh man, it feels good. Right?
Yeah.
So you're like, I think I'm throwing hard. And then that's when you kind of start to trust it a little bit more. So, the feel aspect is definitely there. You don't really need to look at a scoreboard to know that, you're lighting it up or you're feeling good.
Right.
Because it's all body wise.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of great, high school players, a lot of talent in the state of Virginia. Are there any players that you've played with, whether it was, high school or even, any of the showcase circuits, anything like that? Are there any players that stick out in your mind as a particular tough AB?
Ooh, to face. I've been fortunate enough to face a lot of guys, and unfortunately on the circuit, a lot of the times you don't know the person you're facing, or you just get to see a quick one at bat. But one of the guys that would give me a lot of trouble in high school is some of those people. I go to a high school called Atlant. It's kind of like a little specific. And our rival school, Hanover, they had a guy, TJ Woodson. He's going to Baylor. He'd always give me a tough at bat. Foul it off a lot. A lot of those guys on the team, whatever their coach does, it works because they would foul off a lot of pitches against me. They give me tough at bats.
Yeah, they're doing something right over there. So getting good looks at a guy that against a guy that's throwing 98, like that's impressive. You're doing something right. So speaking of college, I know that you up until recently were committed to Duke. How has that process been since you reopened your recruitment? Obviously, because of the coaching change.
Well, yeah, I was sad to announce that my decommitment, and it's extenuating circumstances. You can't do too much about it.
Right.
But it's been interesting. I think that's the way to put it. But I was committed to Duke since probably the start of my sophomore year of high school. So it's been 2.5 years, and when I was recruited, I wasn't super highly touted. Like Duke was my only offer, and now being able to experience there's these other schools I want to talk to you. It's pretty dope. And I'm just trying to mitigate everything. We're at the combine now. I'm trying to enjoy that experience there, and kind of not shut it out, but allow myself to enjoy this experience without having to worry about some of the choices with going to college.
Right. Yeah, you're only here for a few days. You want teams to get to know
Absolutely.
who you are. And how has that part of the process been? Obviously, on field is such a huge component of it, but in terms of off the field, letting teams know who you are as a person, what have you tried to convey to them, in the conversations you've had?
Yeah, I try to be as authentic as possible. I think one of the things that's important to me is that I have to know that I'm being the person that I am. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but when I go out in these interviews, obviously you have to have confidence, but you don't want to go out there and look like I won't continue, but you don't want to be one of those people, but at the same time you have to be able to you have to understand your abilities. We are good players at the end of the day, and you have to be cognizant of yourself and what you're capable of. And I think having a lot of self-awareness is key to displaying who you are as a person, and having a growth opportunity, a growth mindset, and getting better as a baseball player and displaying who you are as a person.
Right. Now, being at this stage of the process, do you feel like there's anything you wish you would have known going into it ahead of time, or anything that you're like, I wish I would have had that insight before I got to this stage?
Yeah, this is very new to me. I don't have any siblings that have gone through this. I'm only child.
Okay.
So this is all kind of I don't know,
learning experience.
Yeah, it's been a learning experience, and I think something I would want to pass on to someone that was going through the same, or something I wish I knew. I'd say that one's tough. Sorry. It feels like there's so much that I can't pinpoint something directly.
Yeah.
I would just say this is really simple, but just don't stress out.
Yeah.
These guys you're the person, these teams are trying to draft you, or you're trying to go to college. You have to understand that as long as you're able to be yourself and acknowledge your opportunity and be happy with it and just have fun with it, I think you will be much better off than stressing out and doing all this other stuff just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, kind of the last point that I'll wrap up, I understand that off the field you're big into fashion.
I wouldn't say
Allegedly.
crazy.
I've been told. So with that being said, you got to rate my fit for today. And you can be as brutally honest as you want. You can be as brutally honest as you want because you showed up, dressed to the nines, looking very hip. I guess are people still saying that these days? I don't know. I feel like I'm 100 years old at this point. But go ahead. I need some advice.
Yeah, let me just preface this by saying I like clothing. I'm not some fashion so-called I just enjoy.
You're not a fashion influencer.
No. I just have fun with it. But I mean today you got the business casual going.
Okay.
I like that. Jeans and the polo.
Yeah.
I think it's just a solid calm casual 5, 6 out of 10 type of fit.
5, 6. You know what? I will take that, and I think I'm gonna clip this and send it to my wife so she doesn't.
Doesn't give it.
Yeah, exactly. So
she I put on some good clothes.
Say, look, cool kids think that I've got a 5 or 6 out of 10 fit. So
your wife can take you shoe shopping. Then find some cool kids.
That is a point of contention. She for the longest time I'd be like, one pair of shoes for 2 years. She's expanded my worldview a little bit as far as that's concerned. So I'm getting better slowly but surely. Thanks so much for joining me today, Noah. Appreciate your time and best of luck.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you.